Another day, another slew of legal injunctions by power-drunk district judges designed to cripple the president's agenda. Late last night, the U.S. Court of International Trade delivered a very heavy blow to the president and the fight to protect American jobs, wealth, American security, ruling the president's tariffs are unconstitutional. That Trump exceeded his authority, his legal authority, by introducing tariffs without congressional approval. The president's team quickly appealed last night, and it didn't take long for an appeals court to flip the tariffs back on by about 3 o'clock this afternoon, as the appeals court awaits arguments in the case. Prior to the ruling, the White House came out firing earlier this afternoon from the press briefing room.
Three judges of the U.S. Court of International Trade disagreed and brazenly abused their judicial power to usurp the authority of President Trump to stop him from carrying out the mandate that the American people gave him. These judges failed to acknowledge that the President of the United States has core foreign affairs powers and authority given to him by Congress to protect the United States economy and national security. Any questions over whether President Trump improperly imposed these IEEPA tariffs were already adjudicated in Congress following Liberation Day.
So there you have it. Now, there are laws granting tariff power to the president, and they perfectly match the reasoning that Trump gave the nation when these tariffs were launched. The Trade Expansion Act of 1962 lets the president impose tariffs if imports threaten national security. Trump has always said tariffs were needed to protect industries like steel in this country. We need to be able to produce our own weapons, bullets, guns as a part of national security. There's one. The Trade Act of 1974 authorizes tariffs in response to unfair foreign trade practices. Think China, intellectual property theft. Think non-tariff trade barriers that nearly every country uses to subvert their own free and fair trade deals. The Tariff Act of 1930 allows for tariffs to equalize costs of producing goods in the U.S. versus abroad. So when they start making everything way cheaper everywhere else, and our own manufacturing basis, a lot of our building economy is gutted. A much-needed weapon against China's slave labor, India, Southeast Asia, countries like that. So that's kind of the emphasis that the White House is putting out there, and that's a lot of the truth. Now, how this court didn't see that, well, that's an interesting part of the conversation. We're going to have that in here in a bit. But earlier today, the CEO of NVIDIA, which is one of the wealthiest companies in the world right now, reminded Americans that these often vilified tariffs that the president has brought are truly brought by Trump with the best of intentions and have a great goal ahead. Take a listen.
Our president wants America to win. The president laid out a bold vision for the United States, for America to reindustrialize the onshore manufacturing so that we can have a more resilient supply chain, so that we can create jobs locally, very importantly, so that we become great at manufacturing again. This initiative by the president is likely going to set the United States up for a century. For this century to come, this is going to be a very big deal.
Something to hear right there on CNBC. And that's exactly the point. The three judges on the U.S. International Trade Court probably need to hear that clip. But what's really been proven is just how difficult it is to ever actually change anything in this country. That's what all of these courts are doing right now. Even things that are terribly broken, like our trade deals, there's always something standing in the way of actually fixing it. Everyone in this country has been complaining about China for the past 20 years. Everyone's been complaining about the decimation of the middle class, the working economy, where all the jobs going. Here's a plan to fix that and to end the economic terrorism of China. And we see Democrats cheering for China, hoping that the Chinese win because they just want to win the next election. The market actually shot up today when that trade court halted Trump's tariffs after they did it last night. Think about that. Easier to allow America to limp on broken than take the short-term pain of actually fixing the country. Wall Street hates the tariffs. Even when they're designed to do something fantastic for the country. Nobody wants to take it on the chin for a few minutes while we actually fix some of these endemic problems that we have in this country. The lawfare that Trump has faced on immigration is even more insidious than what we just saw from this trade court. Judges claiming that Trump can't even deport illegals at this point, can't even deport non-citizens who stir up pro-terror psychosis on Ivy League campuses. He can't do anything that he's been mandated to do, according to the judges of this country. For as much as the left screams democracy, they truly are the antithesis to it. All of this is coming from these voices. The last election delivered an outcome that threatens the left's agenda. They refuse to accept that. They clearly hate the majority of this country and what the majority of the people in this country actually want, and they will do anything to stonewall their mandate while screaming at the same time that they simply want to protect democracy.
You know, folks, I thank God for my wonderful wife, my kids, my country, the greatest nation ever. And Americans like you who believe in the truth, the Chris Salcedo Show will never stop fighting for you.
The Chris Salcedo Show, for the news you need to know.